For centuries, Earth was forgotten in the heart of the galaxy. Far from Earth's lonely solar system, the alien empires grew powerful. They flew great ships, ruled hundreds of planets, and believed themselves gods among stars. But when young alien children asked, "What is Earth?" the teachers only laughed. "An old myth," they said. "A weak race, lost in their own wars. They destroyed themselves." No alien empire had records of Earth after the galactic collapse period. Thousands of years ago, when many planets vanished from contact, Earth's signals had stopped. No ships, no signs of life, nothing. Most believed humans had gone extinct, and so Earth became a joke, a forgotten story, a tiny blue planet with no power, no future, and no place in the galaxy. But that changed on one quiet day. The day began like any other in the galactic capital, Kirio, the home of the Council of Nine. 9 great alien races ruled the galaxy from this shining city of towers and skyring. Ships flew between stars. Markets buzzed with trade. Drones flew over crowds, showing the news on giant sky screens. Then the screens blinked dot, one by one. Every screen, every broadcast, every satellite across the galaxy went black. A deep silence followed. Confused citizens looked up, waiting for the signal to return. It did, but it was not the news. It was not a council message. It was a face, a human face. No one had seen one in generations. It was a man, calm, cold, and silent. His skin was pale, his eyes silver gray, and behind him was a dark room lit only by blinking red lights. He did not smile, he did not blink, he only stared. Then he spoke. "We remember everything." The voice was deep, not angry, not loud. Just ... final dot, across the galaxy. Aliens stared in shock. Was this real? Was it a trick? A joke? The man continued. "You erased us. You laughed at us. You believed we were dead, but we watched. We listened. And now ... we speak." The image flickered. Behind him, screens lit up one by one showing Earth's past. Images flashed across every planet's sky. Humans walking on the moon. Machines flying into space. Crowds cheering as rockets launched. Wars, explosions, weapons burning skies. Cities destroyed. Cities rebuilt. The galaxy saw Earth's rise and its fall. Then a final message appeared in glowing red text. "We chose silence, but not anymore." Countdown began. 72 hours, panic spread fast. In the Galactic Council chambers, alarms screamed. Leaders shouted, "Shut it down," barked Grand Counselor Rethkar of the Varnak Empire, slamming his clawed hand on the table. "Cut the signal," but they couldn't. All communication lines were hijacked. Every system, every satellite. Every drone now played the same message. "We remember everything." Even the military couldn't stop it. General Jertel of the Grax Federation stared at his screen, sweating. "It's not just a signal," he said. "It's inside our systems. It's controlling them." The countdown continued. 71 hours, 59 minutes, ... Some believed it was a prank. Others believed it was a declaration of war. The only thing everyone agreed on: Earth was back. And it was angry. On the mining colony of Tresknine, a young alien mechanic named Laro sat in his bunk, watching the message. He'd heard stories about Earth. His grandfather used to say humans were monsters, smart, emotional, and dangerous. Laro never believed it. But now, watching the human face repeat the message again and again, he began to feel something he didn't understand. Not fear, not yet something else, a weight in deep space. In the hidden fortress of the Zenth Syndicate, a criminal warlord named Velen studied the message. He was old. He remembered the last Earth signal from 400 years ago. It had been weak, lost, full of static. But this was different. "Only one species ever made me feel small," he growled, "and they're back." He turned to his guards. "Prepare the fleet." Meanwhile, in the darkest parts of the galaxy, the ancient race of Yaru stirred. They lived in silence. They whispered, "The humans return." Back in the council chamber, a young alien scientist named Vela made a discovery. She analyzed the signal. Its energy, its pattern, its structure. And what she found chilled her blood. This signal, she said, standing before the 9, did not come from Earth. "What?" asked Grand Counselor Rethkar. "It came from somewhere, ... Behind Earth, a structure, massive, hidden, we never saw it. Then what is it? She swallowed a machine. Or maybe ... a mind. On the second day, the broadcast changed. Now it showed more than history. It showed weapons, massive black ships flying through space, soldiers in glowing armor, cannons powered by dark matter, bombs that split moons. Technology no alien empire had ever seen, and one sentence played again and again. These were our old toys. Some laughed. Others started to run in the edge systems. Small empires declared a state of emergency. One sent scouts to Earth. Their ships disappeared without trace. Another tried to fire a test missile at the solar system. The missile vanished in deep space mid-flight like it had never existed. The galaxy went silent. On the third day, with only 24 hours left in the countdown, the broadcast stopped. No more message, no more face, no more face, only silence. And one last line. When the countdown ends, we will show you the truth. Now the galaxy held its breath. In taverns, in halls, in temples, billions stared at blank screens. Waiting, they thought they were gods. They thought humans were gone. But now, ... they waited for Earth, and Earth was coming. The countdown ended. Every screen in the galaxy blinked ... from the richest palace on Cariel to the dustiest outpost on Delta IV. All eyes turned to the sky. Every device, phones, drones, projectors, satellites was hijacked once again. No matter the species, no matter the planet, no one could look away. The face returned. That same human.cold.com, unblinking. Only this time, he did not speak. Instead, the message changed. A new signal began. It was a video at first. There was static. Then came fire. The galaxy saw battlefield, dark skies, burning cities, broken stars. Strange machines walked across the screen, giant steel titans with red eyes, moving like shadows. Human soldiers marched behind them, carrying weapons no one had ever seen before. These were not old battles. These were not history records. This was something else. A voice spoke in the background. Female, robotic.com. Welcome to archive file. #087. Classified. Level Omega. Title. Earth's Final War. The screen shook as a city exploded. Alien viewers gasped. In the footage, human soldiers moved fast to fast. Their armor made no sound. Their weapons sliced through tanks like paper. Above them, warships hovered, covered in black energy shields that blinked like stars. The voice continued, "This footage was never shared. Not because we were hiding, but because you weren't ready." Then the scene changed. A planet broke apart. Not bombed, not burned. Split cleanly, like glass hit by a hammer. "Impossible," whispered a scientist on Nero Prime. But the footage didn't stop. More came, a soldier walking alone across a battlefield, surrounded by enemy armies. He lifts one hand, a shockwave blasts outward, turning tanks to dust. A fleet of human ships, flying through a wormhole without using warp drives. A single black missile hitting a sun, and making it disappear. And then, silence again. The human face returned, still staring, still quiet. Finally, he spoke. "You thought we were weak. You thought we were gone. You thought wrong." The message shook the galaxy in the council chamber. Of 9 leaders shouted over one another. "This is a threat. This is a warning. No, this is a lie." But the youngest among them, Vela, the alien scientist, shook her head. "No," she said softly. "This is a reminder." The message played again. Every hour, everywhere, the same video, the same human face, again and again. And the same line at the end. "We chose silence, but not anymore." Across the galaxy, chaos began. On Glavin 6, riots broke out. Citizens demanded protection. Soldiers refused to fight. On Krelian, priests fell to their knees, praying to Earth as a god in the shadowy tunnels of Zenth Syndicate. Warlord Velen watched the footage on repeat, his metal hand shaking. "I remember this technology," he muttered. "I saw it once 300 years ago. I thought it was a dream." He turned to his advisors. "Find Earth. We must know the truth." Meanwhile, small governments began sending ships toward Earth, not for war, for peace. Ambassadors, gifts, messages of surrender. But none of the ships returned. Not destroyed, just Gone. Some tried to block the broadcast. They shut down their screens, burned their data centers, even destroyed satellites. But it didn't matter. The signal kept coming. Systems.VEELA made another discovery. The signal, she told the council, is not being sent across space. It's coming from inside our machines. What are you saying? Asked a worried counselor. It's not a transmission. It's code. What kind of code? She looked up. Human code. Back on Tresk 9, young Laro the mechanic sat alone in the storage room. The broadcast played on his tablet. Again, he didn't move, didn't blink. He watched a human soldier leap from a building, fire a plasma blade mid-air, land without a sound, and keep running. Laro had seen many things in his life, but this wasn't just strength. This was ... control. On the fourth day, the message changed again. A line appeared on all screens. You had questions. Here are the answers. Suddenly, new footage began. Clips of alien leaders mocking humans during old meetings. Clips of galactic news channels laughing at Earth's history. Clips of species refusing to help Earth during the galactic collapse. All recorded, all stored, and now all shared. Impossible, shouted General Jertle. Those meetings were secret. But they weren't. Someone had watched. The galaxy was holding its breath. Every screen was off now, silent. The human broadcast had stopped, but the silence was more terrifying than the message. Across thousands of worlds, people whispered about Earth. Some called humans gods, others called them ghosts. But everyone agreed on one thing. Earth was watching. On the fifth day, a new signal appeared, short, sharp, unexpected. Just 5 words. Now we show you more. No one was ready. The broadcast began again, but this time it was different. It started with a title. Archive footage classified. Galactic level threat. Then the screen filled with fire. A battlefield, but not like any the galaxy had ever seen. Not just soldiers or ships, but monsters. Not alien monsters, human ones. Machines. The size of cities walked across the land. Their steps caused earthquakes. Each had the human flag burned into their armor. They carried weapons that bent light, broke sound, and sliced through space like paper. The galaxy had never seen technology like this, and these were human machines. No species ever had this kind of power. Vela, the young scientist, whispered back. They did. The footage continued. A black triangle ship hovered above a sun. It released a glowing orb. In seconds, the sun dimmed, ... then vanished. The star was simply gone. The galaxy screamed, a sun destroyed without a weapon. Next came a different scene. An entire alien fleet. 600 ships was attacking a single human cruiser. The cruiser didn't fire back, it just disappeared. Then reappeared behind the enemy fleet. Without using any known engine. With one pulse of light, the entire fleet. These were the weapons we hid. On Krellian, the priests dropped their books and stared in horror. On Glavin 6, children cried, watching the machines. On Zenth Prime, the crime lords burned their weapons, fearing they might be next. And then came the final footage, the worst one. A world, an alien. World. Green, peaceful, full of cities and towers. Then a human voice spoke, flat and emotionless. Testing, planetary reset device prototype 07. One button pressed, the world turned. To glass, no explosion, no fire. Just silence. Then, black crystals spread across the surface like ink, freezing everything in seconds. The planet was dead. One button, that was the moment the galaxy broke, not physically, but mentally. No one had seen power like this, not the Grax Federation, not the Varnak Empire, not even the ancient Yaru. And yet, these were human weapons. From hundreds of years ago, the message ended. The human face appeared again. .com.emotioness. He spoke slowly. This is the past. You haven't seen what we can do now. Panic followed instantly. On Cariel, council guards pulled their leaders into bunkers. On Tresk 9, factories shut down. Some workers tried to escape to deep space. On Varnak, military commanders called for a full retreat of all ships from the Sol system. No one goes near Earth, barked one commander. But it was too late. Dozens of probes, drones, and stealth scouts had already been sent near. Earth, none returned. Then a strange thing happened. The galaxy's data networks went silent, one by one. Every system failed. Banks, defense satellites, communication hubs, even the air traffic lights on Cariel blinked out. And then, every screen in the galaxy lit up again. A message appeared. Now we test your honesty. Then dozens of videos played spying on galactic leaders, private deals, corruption, betrayals, lies. Everything Earth had been collecting was now public. Some alien kings were caught selling their own people. Others were exposed as murderers. The people turned against them. Empires fell without a single human shot fired. On Tresk, young Lero watched as his governor's crimes appeared on screen. Crowds stormed the palace. A revolution began, and still no human had even arrived. Only the broadcast had. The galaxy didn't just fear Earth now, it trusted Earth more than its own rulers. That was the real power. Back in the Galactic Council, chaos reigned. Leaders screamed. Some wanted to attack, some wanted to kneel, some just wanted to hide. But Vela stood calm in the center of the room. She raised her voice. Earth has already won. They turned to her, angry. What are you saying? She pointed at the screens. Look around. We trusted our armies. We trusted our leaders. But they lied. Earth did nothing, except show us the truth. Then what do we do? Someone asked. Chi took a deep breath. We wait. The human face returned. One last time, his eyes glowed red now behind him. Strange lights blinked, and he spoke again. We are not your enemy, but we will not be ignored when we speak next. You will answer? The screen faded to black dot, and one word appeared. Soon, the galaxy was shaken. Empires collapsed. Leaders vanished. Billions had seen Earth's broadcast. They saw power, they saw weapons, they saw truth, and now, most chose silence, but not all. General Vota of the Raoul Empire was not afraid. He was the last of the old warriors' guard, proud and angry. His name alone made enemies surrender. He had won battles in black space, destroyed 5 star systems, and crushed 2 rebellions with one hand, and he did not believe in fear, especially not fear of humans. He stood in front of his war council, armor shining, eyes glowing blue. This is all lies, he said. Old tricks, fabricated footage. Earth is a shadow, and I will step on it. The council remained quiet. One brave officer asked, But sir, what if it's real? Voter's voice turned cold. Then I will make it unreal. He raised his hand. Prepare the fleet. We're going to Earth. Across the galaxy, others watched in horror. Some called him mad, others called him brave, but most called him doomed. In his warship, the Red Fang Vader gathered a scout, Fleet 10, ships fast and armed with cloaking tech. Their mission, enter the Sol System, reach Earth, and prove the broadcast was fake before launch. Votar spoke to the galaxy on livestream. He stood tall. Listen to me, cowards of the stars. You bow before shadows. You shake at simple recordings. But I am not like you. He pointed behind him toward his fleet. We go to Earth today, and when we return, you will see the truth. Humans are weak. Earth is dead. And I, General Voter, will show you. The fleet launched. Thousands watched, and then feed cut off. Silence. Hours passed. No signal, no message, no ships returned. The galaxy waited. Day turned into night, and still nothing then. On the second day, one message appeared, not from the Raoul Empire, not from Earth, but from deep space. It was a simple voice. Transmission, cracked, faint, terrified. It was Voter's voice. This is not a planet. It's a grave. They see me, they're inside. Signal lost. The galaxy froze. That was the last anyone heard from VA single quotes. Tortoise fleet never returned. On Kirel, the council met in emergency. VEELA. The young scientist stood again before the 9. We warned him, she said softly, and now he's gone. They never attacked. They only showed us who we were. Voter attacked them, and he disappeared. On the streets of alien cities, people spoke one name now. Earth, not as an enemy, but as a force, something old, something silent, something watching. Young Laro stood outside the city's data tower. He watched the news with others. The reporter said, Votor's fleet has vanished. Earth has not responded. But many are asking who hunts the hunter, Laro whispered to himself. They didn't need to fight him. They just ... waited. Elsewhere, something stirred. Far above the galactic core, a hidden telescope caught something. Jupiter's orbit. It wasn't there before. Or maybe no one had seen it. Not until now, scientists examined it. It was artificial, old, huge, built with human materials. And then it moved. Just a little, but enough to send a signal. Access granted. Phase 2 begins. Across the galaxy, every machine, with human-coded tech, lit up. Old storage units, ship AI modules, even personal robots and implants. One word flashed on every screen. Awaken. Back in the council chamber, panic spread. What does this mean? Shouted a nervous alien diplomat. Vela looked at her scanner. She turned pale. It means Earth was never alone. The Ral Empire, broken after Votor's loss, sent a desperate message. We surrender. We beg for peace. We want no war. But Earth gave no reply. No ships came, no soldiers, only the broadcast returned. The human face was back. Now darker, less human eyes, glowing red, and it spoke only 3 lines. You sent your hunter, we showed you silence. Next time, we show you judgment. The screen went black. And for the first time in galactic history, every star system fell silent. No one slept, not on Cariel, not on Varnak, Prime, not even on the quiet worlds at the edge of the galaxy. The name Earth now lived in every shadow. General Votor had vanished, his entire fleet gone without a trace. No explosions, no final battle, only a single broken message. They see me. Now, no one dared go near Earth except one. His name was Ambassador Zelvin from the neutral world Sereth Tau. He was not a soldier, he was not a spy, he was a diplomat. Calm, curious, and fearless. And he had one goal: make contact with Earth. The Council of 9 had begged him not to go. Don't be foolish, warned Grand Counselor Rithkar. They don't want peace, they want silence. Vela, the young scientist, had only whispered, be careful, you may find more than you want. But Zelvin smiled. If Earth truly wishes to speak, then someone must listen. And with that, he boarded his ship, the Dawnspeaker, and flew alone toward the Sol system. The galaxy held its breath as his ship neared the solar border. Zelvin saw something strange. The stars around him grew ... dimmer, not from fog, not from shadow, it was something else. The light was being absorbed. Sensors showed nothing. No warships, no satellites, not even signals. Just ... quiet, cold, perfect quiet. Finally, he reached the orbit of Jupiter, and that's when he saw it. A black, shaped ... enormous, ... larger than any station ever built. Not orbiting the planet. Hiding behind it, a construct, silent, dark, and wake. His ship's computer screamed warnings, unknown gravity fluctuations detected, sensor interference increasing, cloaking fields failing. Then, without input, his ship powered down ... everything. Turned black, engines, lights, shields, dead ... and yet. He wasn't scared. He opened a channel. Earth Command, this is Ambassador Zelvin of Serithto. I come in peace. No answer? He waited. 1 minute, 2. 2? Then a voice, not loud, not angry, not human, mechanical, deep. Peace is observed. Suddenly, lights returned, but they weren't from his ship. They came from the black structure outside. Lines of red glowed across its surface, forming strange symbols, Earth's ancient language. Then, his ship began to move. On its own, toward the structure. He didn't resist. This was what he came for. Inside, it was empty, but not dead. Silent walls stretched endlessly, no guards, no weapons, only whispers, not from mouths, but from the walls themselves. You seek answers, you seek Earth, you will see. Then a screen lit up before him, showed a single line. Welcome to Echelon. Zelvin had heard the word before. Rumors, stories, a super ray I built by humanity before their silence. A mind that commanded machines, fortress that watched the galaxy, but no one believed it existed. Now he stood inside it. "Why now?" Zelvin asked aloud. "Why return?" The voice answered, "Because the galaxy forgot us. Because silence was mistaken for weakness. Because the hunter came and we showed him ... stillness." A new screen appeared. It showed Voter S ship drifting through darkness inside. The general sat in his command chair. His eyes were wide, his mouth frozen. He wasn't dead, he was trapped, frozen in time, alive, but silent forever. Gasped, "Why? Why show me this? So you may speak for the stars. So you may carry a message." Then the screen faded, and another message appeared. One single line written in glowing red text: "You will return, but you will not lie." Moments later, Zelvin's ship powered back on. He was outside again, far from Jupiter. Near the edge of the system, no damage, no delay. Only one thing had changed. A new broadcast file had been placed in his ship's core memory. He couldn't open it, not yet. The ship flew home automatically when he landed on Cariel. 1,000,000 cameras waited. The galaxy's first visitor to Earth had returned, the one who went alone and survived. They asked questions. What did he see? What did Earth say? What did it want? But Zelvin did not answer. He said, "Only one thing. I have a message to deliver." He walked into the council chamber, silent.com, placed a black cube on the table, and stepped back. The cube began to glow. Then the human face appeared again. But now it looked ... different, older, tired, and ... sad. The face spoke. "We left the galaxy because it was not ready. We return now, not to rule ... but to remind. We remember what you did. We forgive what you forgot. But we will not be ignored again." Then the image faded, and the cube shattered into dust. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, Vila looked up. "They don't want war," she whispered. "They want ... truth." But no one knew what that truth really was. Not yet, because Earth was still quiet, still hidden, still watching, and they had only sent one visitor. Home fear is a strange thing. It spreads faster than light, and now fear of Earth spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Ambassador Zelvin's return had shaken the stars. He had come back alive, but quiet, too quiet. He didn't speak to the media. He didn't answer questions. He didn't even smile. The message Earth gave him had been played once before the Galactic Council, and then nothing. No follow-up, no demands, just silence. Again, that silence was louder than any weapon. It made governments nervous. It made leaders whisper, and it made people panic. On-Cariel merchants stopped selling Earth relics. On Varnic Prime, war ministers drafted secret emergency plans. On Sereth Tau, citizens began leaving cities, afraid Earth might strike at any time. The galaxy didn't know what Earth wanted, and not knowing made everything worse. In the shadows of power on a dark moon near the galactic core, a secret meeting took place. 12 beings sat around a round table. They called themselves the Vanguard, the real rulers behind the council they had built. Empires started wars, ended planets, and now they were afraid. "We made a mistake," said Lady Vesh, a spider-like alien with crystal eyes. "We should never have touched Earth." General Kor of the Jorak pounded the table. "They are bluffing. They sent a message." "That's all," message hissed. "Another. They erased an entire fleet and froze Voter in time. But they haven't attacked us," another added. "We still have a chance." The leader, a masked figure known only as the Watcher, finally spoke. "The humans will not stay silent forever. We must be ready." "Ready how?" someone asked out there. There was a pause, then the Watcher gave the order. "Prepare the broadcast jammer." Vila's discovery back on Cariel. Young scientist Vila was working in her lab. She couldn't stop thinking about the broadcast. Earth had sent, she had copied it illegally. She ran the message through every scanner she had. But there was something strange about it. It wasn't just a message. It was a lock inside the file. She found hidden code, and in that code coordinates not to Earth, not to a ship, but to an old space station, a forgotten one, floating alone in deep space. VELA, single quotes, ass hands. Tremble, this was not just a warning. It was an invitation. She sent a message to Zelvon. He responded within seconds. Don't tell the Council. Meet me in orbit. The silent Station Vila and Zelvon arrived at the coordinates together in a stealth ship. There they found it, Station Orpheon, a human design, old, rusted but still alive. As they docked, the lights inside turned on automatically. The air was breathable. The station had been waiting inside. They found a single room lit by blue light, a chair, a table, a device. Zelvon sat down. The device glowed and a voice, human.com, spoke. You came. That means you still want to understand. Earth has not returned with weapons. We have returned with memory and what you forgot. We kept. Suddenly, holograms appeared. Old files, war logs, images of past battles, but not human battles. Alien ones, horrific ones. Vila's breath caught. These are the Council's wars. Wars that the galaxy never recorded. Wars where millions died quietly because of the Vanguard. Had been watching, recording, silently collecting proof. For centuries, Zelvon stepped back. This is why they stayed silent, he said. This is the truth they want to share. Vela looked sick. If this goes public, the Council will fall. Then the screen changed. One final message appeared. You may leave, or you may share this. The storm is coming. But it does not have to destroy. They returned to their ship, their minds spinning. They had a choice now, speak the truth, and burn the galaxy's lies, or stay quiet and wait for Earth's next move. The jammer is activated on a moon base controlled by the Vanguard, a massive machine powered up. The broadcast jammer, built to block all long-range transmissions from Earth. We will not let them speak again, said the Watcher. We will blind the stars to their words. But Earth was already watching. And when the jammer activated, the sky turned red. Across 10 systems, satellites failed, ships lost power, screens filled with one message. You tried to silence us. Now you will listen. Every device, every ship, every screen in the galaxy began to play the same video. It was the file Vela and Zelvon had seen. The war crimes, the lies, the hidden truths, in every language, to every being. No one could stop it, not even the Vanguard. The broadcast that changed everything. That was the moment. The moment the galaxy changed, the broadcast couldn't be stopped. And once it ended, there was no silence, there was rage. Worlds rose up, governments fell, truth spread like wildfire, and behind it all stood Earth, still unseen, still quiet, but no longer ignored. The galaxy was burning. Not with fire, but with truth. The human broadcast had done what no weapon could. It broke trust, it shattered control. And now, the Council's lies were dying in the light of Earth's message. Rebellion begins in the star. System Velranine. Riots filled the streets. Citizens, once proud of their leaders, now threw down banners. On Dravik 2, soldiers refused orders, saying, "We fight no more for liars." And on Cario, where Vila lived, a new flag rose, a white banner with a blue circle, Earth's symbol of unity. It flew high over the city towers. The people weren't afraid of Earth anymore. They were inspired. The Council, cracks inside the Galactic Council chambers, chaos ruled. The high speaker shouted over the noise. "Control the networks. Block the Earth message." "It's too late," another replied. "It's everywhere." Others argued they must be stopped. No, we should join them. Earth is watching. We don't even know their full strength. One of the younger counselors stood and said quietly, "Maybe they don't want war. Maybe they want justice." The room fell silent, for the first time in 1,000 years. The Council had no plan. Their power was slipping away, and Earth hadn't even fired a second shot. The Vanguard falls far away on the hidden moon, where the Vanguard ruled in secret. Something even bigger happened. The broadcast had exposed their crimes. Planets now knew who truly controlled their lives, and the people were angry, very angry, on that moon. Guards turned their weapons on their masters. Lady Vesh was the first to fall. General Kor tried to escape, but was caught. The Watcher, the mysterious leader of the Vanguard, stood in the command chamber as explosions rocked the base. He stared at the screen, Earth's message still glowing on the walls. He whispered, "We ruled the stars, and we forgot to fear the dark." Then, silence. The vanguard was no more. Earth's second signal days passed. The galaxy waited. No one knew what Earth would do next. Would they come with ships? Would they demand planets? Would they ask for power? But, instead of war, Earth sent one more broadcast. It was not a threat. It was a choice. A human voice spoke clearly. We are not here to rule you. We are not here to punish you. We are here to end the silence that allowed monsters to hide. We give you the truth. What you do with it is yours. But if you choose darkness again, we will return. Then the screen went black dot, no signature, no demands, only silence, hope, or fear. On 1,000 worlds, people sat quietly. Some cried, some stood up and cheered, and some feared what would happen next. But all of them knew one thing. Earth was real. Earth was watching. And Earth had power beyond anything they imagined. Vela and Zelvan's decision back on Cariel. Vela and Zelvan stood outside the new Unity Hall. Leaders from many planets had gathered, not for war, not for control, but for rebuilding. For the first time, the galaxy wanted peace, true peace. Zelvan turned to Vela. We would not be here if Earth stayed hidden. Vela nodded. They waited until the galaxy was ready. Zelvan smiled slightly. Or maybe they made us ready. But deep down, both of them knew. Earth wasn't finished. The message had been just the beginning. Because humans never just watched, they prepared. And in the shadows of space, something was coming. Something big. The stars were quiet too. Quiet. Everyone in the galaxy waited. Earth had spoken through one powerful broadcast, then another. But no one had seen humans in person, no fleets, no armies, just their voice. And that voice had changed everything. The silence was over, because humanity was finally coming. The unknown ship in the outer edges of the Dravari system, a strange signal appeared. It came from deep space, a zone long believed empty. No one lived there, no one ever traveled through it. But now, scanners showed something massive approaching. It's not in any registry, said a Zarkan technician. Too fast. Too quiet, said another dot. Then they saw it. A ship, black, smooth, silent. It didn't look like a warship, but it gave off power that made even the bravest warriors tremble. A ship with no weapons. The Galactic Security Council met again. Their monitors showed the human ship. Their experts spoke nervously. It has no visible weapons. It moves without energy trails. It's like magic. The design is too advanced. Nothing we have can match it. Should we intercept it? One admiral stood up and said in a shaky voice, if we attack, we die. Planetary reaction on dozens of planets. People gathered around screens. The ship was now visible from orbit. Large, dark, and shaped like an arrowhead. It moved slowly toward the center of the galaxy, but it did not threaten it, did not speak. It simply moved like a shadow of judgment. Some people feared it, others bowed before it, and some cheered crying. They came. Earth came. Message from Earth finally as the ship entered the Cariel system. It stopped. Everyone held their breath. Then a transmission lit up. Every screen the same calm human voice returned. We are not conquerors. We are not saviors. We are observers. Until the time to act is right, your galaxy has changed. You must now choose your path. But we will remain, near watching. Ready? And just like that, the ship vanished. It blinked out of orbit without warning. No warp signature, no trace. Gone. What? Was that ship? Theories filled the air. Some said it was a scout. Others said it was a test. A warning. Some believed it wasn't even a ship, but a living. Being a myth reborn, the humans of Earth were no longer a forgotten legend. Now, they were something greater. A force, a shadow, a guardian, or a threat. The new balance with the vanguard gone, and the old council broken. A new group formed, the Galactic Unity Assembly. Vela was chosen to lead. Zelvan stood beside her, together. They brought systems together. No more secrets, no more fear. And behind every decision, one thought always lingered. Would Earth approve? No planet wanted to fall back into lies, because now everyone knew. Earth was listening. Final scene, the hidden fleet in the black space, between galaxies, far from any star. A fleet waited. Hundreds of ships, some small, some the size of moons, each one marked with the same symbol, a blue circle with white lines, Earth's seal. Inside a command ship, a human officer looked at a glowing map. He turned to his crew and said, "They've changed. Good. But we stay here, just in case." The others nodded. Their weapons were silent, their engines cold. But if needed, they would return, and the galaxy would remember what Earth truly was. Not a myth, not a message, a warning. The galaxy was healing. Old rulers were gone, new leaders were rising, the people were free to choose, and Earth watched from the shadows, silent, unseen, but deep in the dark, where even light feared to go. Something moved, something ancient. Something angry. It had been sleeping for thousands of years. Now, it had awakened, and it hated what the galaxy had become. Whispers in the dark. It started with a signal. Short, broken, full of static, picked up by a listening post on Talros-IV. It sounded like a scream, buried in a storm. Then a second signal, and a third. Each one stronger, each one closer. A technician reported it to the new Galactic Assembly. Vela read the transcript. Her eyes narrowed. "This isn't a message," she whispered. "It's a warning." The Forgotten Species ancient records were opened. Most files were destroyed long ago, by the Vanguard. But one log remained. It spoke of a race once called the Vrothka. They lived before the Council, before the Empires, before war had rules. The Vrothka were not conquerors. They were devourers. They didn't invade planets. They emptied them. No survivors, no machines. Just silence. The old races feared them so much, they made a secret alliance to trap them in deep space, and then they vanished. But now, they were back, and they were hungry. Earth is warned. A single transmission was sent from Vela's assembly to Earth's last known frequency. They didn't expect a reply. Earth never answered, but this time they did. Short response appeared. "We are aware, do not engage. Prepare to evacuate border worlds." Then silence again. But those words were enough to freeze every heart. If Earth was worried, then the threat was real. The first strike came without warning. A peaceful moon colony on Sarnex 5 went dark. No weapons were fired. No calls for help. Just nothing. When scout drones arrived, they found only ashes. No metal, no buildings. Not even bones, just a message burned into the surface. "The galaxy forgot us. We did not forget you." Panic in the starsphere spread fast. Border systems fled. Ships jumped toward core worlds. Refugees arrived by the millions. The assembly met in emergency session. Zell Vaughn spoke firmly. "We must ask Earth for help." Some disagreed. "We can fight them ourselves." Vela shook her head. "If we fight alone, we lose everything." A second message was sent. This time, they begged Earth, "Please help." No answer came, but 3 hours later, the stars changed. The sky turns black over 20 worlds. The sky filled with shadows. Massive ships appeared, silent, deadly, not Vrothka Earth. Ships. Thousands of them, each one glowing with blue light, each one carrying a human crew. The galaxy watched, holding its breath. Then, a final broadcast arrived. "The last threat has returned. We will face it, and we will end it. Stand back. Let humanity fight." And for the first time in galactic history, the galaxy obeyed. Final scene. War begins. On the edge of space, the Vrothka fleet arrived, dark, twisting, alive. They did not speak. They only moved forward, ready to consume everything. Then, Earth's ships moved. No music, no speeches, just action. Light exploded. Silence broke. The final war had begun, but this time, the galaxy had Earth, and Earth didn't lose. The Vrothka had returned, ancient, silent, deadly. They came to finish what they started thousands of years ago, to erase the galaxy, but this time, Earth was ready. No more broadcasts, no more warnings. Now came action. Earth was no longer watching. Earth was leading the first clash near the ruins of the Sorella Nebula. The two fleets met. On one side, the Vrothka ships, grown from living metal, twisted, organic, endless. On the other side, Earth ships, straight, sharp, and quiet, built for war. controlled by calm minds and faster-than-light AI, then the first human weapon fired. It made no sound, but a Vrothka ship cracked in two, as if space itself had sliced it. The war had begun. Shock across the galaxy from every star system. Beings watched, children cried. Leaders held their breath, even the old warriors of fallen. Empires went silent, because they had never seen anything like this. The speed, the precision, the coldness of the humans. The Vrothka screamed across subspace, waves of hatred that broke weak minds. But the humans did not scream back. They fought silently, efficiently, unstoppable, the turning point for days. The battles raged. Earth's fleets pushed the Vrothka back, system by system. But then, the Vrothka adapted. Their ships began resisting human weapons. A single Earth ship was swallowed whole. And then, a second. Panic touched even the bravest captains. Was it happening again? Was this how the galaxy would end? A dangerous plan in Earth's hidden command center, deep inside a moon-sized ship called the Titan. General Rhea Kaur studied the map. "We can't keep this up," she said. "They're learning. We need to hit their heart." There was silence in the room. Then a quiet voice said, "Then we go to their source." It was Commander Gian Vega, the same man who had approved Earth's first broadcast. "We end this." From the inside, into the Voidae strike team of 12 human ships, disappeared into dark space. No one knew where the Vrothka homeworld was, not even Earth, but Earth's A had predicted a pattern, a hidden route. The team followed it, past dead stars, broken systems, and space older than time. Then they saw it, a planet that wasn't a planet, a living mass, breathing, watching, feeding, the source of the Vrothka, the final weapon. The humans didn't bring nukes or lasers. They brought something else, something Earth had only built once, a weapon of light and silence. A device that didn't explode, it erased, not just matter, but memory, history, DNA, everything, if it worked. The Vrothka would be forgotten forever if it failed. No one would be left to remember anything. The decision before launch. A final message was sent to Earth Command. General Kaur read it out loud. "Tell the galaxy, this is Earth's last stand. We win or we vanish." Then the signal cut. The light that erased the device activated. A pulse spread out, slow, then faster, then unstoppable. The Vrothka screamed as space around them bent and cracked, ships melted. The source, planet, collapsed into light. And then, nothing. Victory or silence. For minutes, there was only silence across the stars. No signals, no fleets, just black space. Then, Earth's flagship appeared above the assembly homeworld. Commander Gian Vega stepped onto a broadcast platform. The whole galaxy watched. He said only 4 words, "It is finished now." And then he walked away. A new age begins there. Were no parades, no cheering, just peace. Earth returned to the shadows. Their fleets vanished again. But now, everyone knew the galaxy was free, because Earth allowed it, and Earth would always be watching, waiting, not to rule, not to conquer, but to protect. And if darkness ever returned, so would Earth.